Hey guys, it's Conference here. Today is Sunday, September 29th. We are back at Great Adventure. It is actually my 40th visit today, as you guys saw in the intro, but main reason I'm here is because it rained all weekend, which means it's probably not gonna be too crowded, and judging off the parking lot, it's not too bad, especially for a Fright Fest weekend. I don't know that I'm actually able to stay for Fright Fest. I'm gonna have to leave a little early, but they have opened quite a few mazes since the last time I was here. The two over here, which are Saw and Asylum, are now open. In addition to that, we now have Conjuring and Army of the Dead also open. So all that's left is Stranger Things, Trick or Treat, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which should come online next weekend, hopefully. And then Fright Fest is truly extreme, but I think it's really great that they were able to get these mazes open. I know a lot of people are happy about it. They did change the way the admission works now. They're not doing the separately ticketed event, meaning that if you did buy a day pass for, say, a Saturday or Sunday, you will be able to stay into Fright Fest. They changed that up a little bit. I think it's a better change just from a logistical standpoint. But with all that being said, we're going to go inside the park, and we'll see you guys over there. From back here, the new Cedar Fair color scheme they're trying to adopt is pretty clear. You can see it on the locker building over there as well, on both pieces of the roof. It's all over the place. I really like it. It brings some color and some liveliness to the entrance. It looks so much better than it used to, with not really too much change. See, the Looney Tunes are currently in a new spot right in front of Main Street Market with some Halloween attire on. It's kind of nice to come here on a day like this prior to Fright Fest starting, where it's really not that crowded and you don't have all the craziness of Fright Fest going on when you walk in. It's much more of a chill kind of Halloween atmosphere. I really do like that. Of course, it's very fun when it's super scary with Fright Fest and everything, but I'm gonna head to the left first. I don't know if anyone's here actually, so this could just be a solo vlog today. We'll see. Like I said, I won't be here too long. Mainly came because I figured I'd seize the opportunity, considering there's probably not too many people here. But maybe I'll go to Ka first. We'll see. With Fright Fest finally beginning now, that does also mean that all the mazes that previously were free, like Big Top Terror and Witch's Reflection, you do now need the wristband. So they are still having you pay for the mazes, but you don't need to pay for separate Fright Fest admission, which I think is probably the best way to do it. They also have these new signs around the park showing you where all the different mazes are, which is pretty cool. We'll get a better look once we get closer. Pretty accurate directions here. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss, although I think Big Top Terror should probably be facing that way since it's right here. But coming soon, Texas Chainsaw, Trick or Treat, and Stranger Things, as we know. But it is cool to finally see these in the park. I believe they did have them last year, but of course, we got that nice new Extreme logo this year. I'm gonna take a quick detour through Bugs Bunny National Park because this is the first time I've been here with Kids Boo Fest going on. It only happens Saturdays and Sundays from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Looks like they have some actors for the kids. I see a scarecrow right there. So let's just go take a look at what they have. Looks like they have some scarecrow jugglers up there. This is where that new Trick or Treat trail is. It kind of takes up where the Camp Kitchen was. So it's kind of like a mini corn maze of sorts where the kids can go get candy and everything. So like I've said, highly recommend bringing your kids here if you are an adult with kids. And they also have two shows over here in the Camp Theater, the Witch's Brew and the Doc Swan's Magic Show at all those times. So like I said, highly recommend bringing your kids here, especially if they're younger. It's always really well done here at the park for them. This is also like the first day of Fright Fest that actually feels like the fall. All year, well, not all year, but these past couple of weekends, it's been really warm out. And with this hurricane season coming in from the south, finally is starting to feel a little colder, which is nice. I do think I may go for a ride on Log Flume though, because as you can see, there's no line, and maybe I'll be able to get a boat all to myself. We'll see. So I did in fact get my own boat on Log Flume, which was very nice, and I just went and rode Mine Train as well, which of course, one of my favorite rides in the park. It's way better than it has any right to be. I think I'm just gonna try to ride as many different rides as possible today, which I don't usually do. I mean, considering my last visit, I just rode King of Ka 41 times in a row. I think it's time to spice up a little bit, ride everything. I definitely want to try to get back on Ka, of course, get on Lantern, Toro, and a few other rides. Well, I'm on my way over to Toro. I'm gonna stop by and give Medusa a ride since it is on 2 trains now, which means probably won't have to wait at all. Just did a nice ride on Medusa in the back row, and it's always interesting with this ride because when the train is really empty, you end up getting completely different forces than you normally would, more hang time, which I actually think kind of makes the ride better. So highly recommend riding Medusa on a dead day like this because you get a completely different ride than you would on a more crowded day. And now you guys know what time it is. Just got off of Toro. I only rode it once because the station filled up right after my first ride and I didn't really feel like walking around, but running great as always. And what's really nice, the Toro pathway is back open. So the way they have this queue set up for trick or treat, it looks like you're gonna enter right here next to the building, and then the queue kind of routes through here and then also routes over there, which we'll see a little better from the Toro pathway. Unless this is the entrance, I can't really tell. This might be the main entrance and the other one might be for express, but they have the pathway kind of divided, not really in half, but there's less walking space than normal. And then this whole area to my left where you can see this gravel is where the rest of the queue is for trick or treat. It also looks like they didn't take down this sign yet that has flash here. I mean, I guess technically it doesn't have 2024 on it, so it is still valid, but right here is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's the first time we're really getting to be close to it. Surprisingly, they decided to keep this giant wall that was built for Saw. I kind of wish they got rid of it. Maybe in the future they'll get rid of it. There's that door on it now though. I mean, that door might have been there actually. Not 100% sure, but flash is still on this. It has been removed from all the other skylines. Actually, I think that door is new because you can see where they split the skyline right there. And I was gonna go ride Cobb, but it looks like it might be down. I see maintenance up there in the booth and nobody's getting on, so that tells me it's probably not open. If you're looking for some Fright Fest merch, they also have some over here in that shop next to the Wild Walkway. I see some Conjuring stuff right there. I'm gonna check the main shop a little later to see if there's anything new since the last time I was here. I know Fiesta has a few different shirt designs that we don't have yet, so I'm hoping we could get those soon. So I'm gonna go over here and ride Twister and Lantern while I wait for COD to reopen, then circle back over there. Hopefully it does reopen. You can also see up there's some signs that are new to me. I haven't seen Army of the Dead open to the public yet. They have that new sign for the maze itself, plus the regular entrance and express entrance.
Everyone's dead silent on it.
Just got a solid 4 flip ride on Twister. I try to ride this as much as I can because it really is one of the best flats in the park. And now with Cyborg currently being closed and we really don't know when or if it's gonna reopen, this is all we got left for that kind of flipping sensation. So come give it a ride if you haven't already. It's such a great ride. Then over here, there is similar new signage for the Conjuring as well, which is now open. But now it's time for me to ride the ride that nobody agrees with me on my opinion with. That is Green Lantern. Something else nice that I forgot to mention is that almost every ride is on 2 trains today, which I really wouldn't expect for how dead it is. Medusa, Toro, Mine Train even. Those are on 2 trains. This Lantern's on 1 train and Ka's on 1 train. Ka probably should be on 1 train because it can't launch unless you have 14 people in the train. So if they can't guarantee that there'll even be that many people, might as well run 1 train. I'm not sure if Nitro's on 2 or 3. I'm sure Batman's probably on 2. So the park is running at full capacity. If I had to guess, probably expecting a few more people to come. All the mazes stay open no matter the weather because they're all indoor now, or at least partially indoor. So even if it's a rainy day, come to Great Adventure because chances are they'll stay open unless it's like terrible, terrible conditions. And you'll be able to get on a lot of rides and a lot of mazes. Just rode Green Lantern twice in a row in the back row because there's no one waiting, and I will defend this ride till the day I die, or I guess the day it dies because it'll probably die before me. But this ride is just so good. You have such great forces from the way this ride's profiled, especially unexpected airtime that a lot of you may not even know exists. I recommend riding the left edge in the back row. That is my personal favorite seat on this ride. You get some really weird airtime because of the way it's heartlined, due to the standing position going into the mid-course and a few other spots as well. It's such a fun ride. And it does sound like King Ka might have reopened, so I think I'll head over there now. Just did a ride on Ka, and it is just running spectacular as usual. They are running one train, but that's really all they need. Also, I don't recall if I mentioned this in a previous vlog, but they have converted the snack stand over here next to King Ka's entrance to the Graveyard Bar. I haven't actually seen it open yet, so hopefully we'll see it open during Fright Fest, but this place hasn't been open in a really long time. All right, so I kind of teleported to the other side of the park. I'm back by the entrance. Now I'm gonna go over here. I don't know how much more I'm gonna ride. The weather's starting to get a little worse now. I do wanna check in here to see if there's any new merch. So it's just those magnets, no new Stranger Things merch yet. If you do want to see the merch that is already there, go to my first Fright Fest vlog from the year, which I believe was on Saturday, September 14th. That's where you'll find that. Over here in front of Skyscreamer, we have another one of those new Fright Fest Extreme directional boards. And then we also have an update with Big Wheel or Giant Wheel. They have it fenced off again. You can see they have the lift right here, the boom lift. And they were installing more lights earlier today. It looks like they might actually all be on. As I'm taking a closer look, I'll zoom in for you guys. You can see those very thin black strips. Looks like they have them on all the spokes, all the way going in as well, yeah. So hopefully next weekend we'll see this open with the lighting. Obviously it's not open now since they were putting the lighting on. I assume Jersey has to come inspect it again since they put the lights on, but I can't wait to see this finally lit up. It's been a really long time coming, and I think this is gonna be a really nice light package with those LEDs. They'll probably be able to do some really cool stuff with it. So Nitro is on 3 trains, but for whatever reason, it looks like they're not loading the D train. I'm not sure why, but the park's not super crowded anyway. You can see there's no line for Nitro, so it's not really a big deal. I gotta say, whoever decided to play like Metallica constantly in the Jersey Devil area, great idea, because it fits so well with the theme over here. Just got off Jersey Devil. Luckily enough, wound up in the front row, and it was running really good today. Not quite as fast as it would be on a hot summer day, but it's like 60 degrees, so I would expect that. But I can't wait to see this area. I don't know how late I'm gonna stay, but if I do stay for Fright Fest, can't wait to see this area at night, because it is always really well done, especially with this heavy metal music. This is probably the most like well-themed of the new scare zones. A nice little update with the fountain over there. They added some pumpkins and hay bales around it, and more importantly, the time is now accurate again. And I will say, crowds have definitely started to pick up. Devil was probably about a 5-minute line. It was pretty much to the stairs at the station. Nitro is the station wait, but there are a few other rides that have lines. Ka actually had a pretty decent line earlier as well. So I think the closer we're getting to Fright Fest, the more the crowds are picking up. Looks like over at Fright Fest Live, they have the slate of Looney Tunes characters just dressed up in Halloween attire. And you can see the characters that are slated to be in there today. Looks like Porky, Petunia, and Bugs on rotation. Joker also appears to have no line, so maybe once I finish off this pretzel, I'll go give it a ride. Just got off of Joker twice on the purple side, and it's funny because both rides you would think would be the exact same, because I sat in the exact same seat with the same weight distribution, but they were actually different. The first one was a little more intense for whatever reason. Something I do want to note that I kind of miss about this ride, they used to have, like earlier this year, some really cool spiels that were like kind of tied into the Joker theme and the lore of the park, but I don't really hear them doing that anymore, so it'd be nice to maybe see that change. So now I'm over here by Saw Asylum. And you can see they've added a little arrow right here. And down here we have those new signs, just like Army of the Dead has, one for Saw, one for the Asylum. The Asylum's graphic they have there is actually really cool. And you can see down there, we'll probably go through Saw later, but I have to leave right after that. You can see how they have it split up. So Saw is on the right, and then Asylum, you're gonna go around to the left a little bit. They also have a new shop down there called Bloodshed, just like the old maze that used to be next to Toro and Ka. There it is. I don't know what they have. Actually, I don't think it is a shop. I think it's just a decoration. Still pretty cool though. But you'll walk down the central path for both of them and then split off down there. So honestly, your probably best bet is to just hit both of them at the same time. It actually looks like they have a really cool prop down there. We'll see it later again, but yeah, there's like some cage thing with a person in it. That's really cool. And these are all the locations where you can get your Fright Fest wristband. So I'm actually probably gonna go get mine right now since I'm at Reaper's Closet. So inside Reaper's Closet, I found all the new Stranger Things merch. We have Hellfire Club shirts over here. We have the cups, more of these crew neck shirts. We have 2 variants of the Stranger Things shirt. Then we have some Hawkins High School shirts as well. Some Hawkins cups. And I believe that hat is from the show. So if you're looking for Stranger Things merch, come here. And they have a backpack too. And I was able to get my wristband, so highly recommend getting this as early as you can. It says to get it before 5, but they're not closing the park, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think they're gonna be the same color every day either, but you have this one that's maze access, and the other one is express. If you're a pass holder, well, depending on the type of pass holder or legacy member, you do get this for free. I believe it's Prestige, Diamond Elite, and Diamond Elite VIP that get it for free. This is a really rare sight over here. Wonder Woman has just about no line. That's really strange for a Fright Fest weekend like this. You'd expect at least somewhat of a line, but no, not really much of a line.
What do you feel like eating? You want to go?
And for those wondering about Flash, I do actually hear electricity running right now. It could just be me hearing things, but I'm about 90% sure about that. And the train is still there, covered unfortunately, so we can't get a good look at it yet. On the other side, you will be able to see they are starting to do Park 6, especially over here. They have some landscaping done on the outskirts, but otherwise, not really too much change. Now, I sit here and wait for an hour for this to open, which I am pretty excited for. I've heard a lot of good things about it, that they changed it up a lot since last year, so let's see how it goes. Alrighty, so I wound up going through both Saw and Asylum. It opened around 6:07, so not terrible. Saw was actually really good, way improved from last year. It was actually really long. They had a split path in there as well. I'm not gonna give away anything else, but Saw was definitely good. It kind of continues the trend though of the other IP mazes where it's less scary and more like cinematic. There were a couple jump scares here and there for sure though, but I've noticed a lot of the IP mazes, they have this thing where like a sensor will kind of trigger an effect to go off and there'll be like a strobe light combined with a scare actor jumping out at you, and it is a really cool effect. And then of course I went through Asylum, which still reigns supreme at this park as my favorite haunt. Like I said, I do unfortunately have to leave early. I'm doing a live stream tonight and I gotta of course go home for dinner, so gotta cut it short. But Sunday night seemed to be a pretty good night to come to Fright Fest. I mean, it is misting right now and the weather's been kind of crappy all weekend, so probably does explain the low crowds, but Saturdays are always going to be your most packed day. Thursdays are still great, but Sundays I think might be better than Thursdays because you get more scare actors than you would on a Thursday night. But with all that being said, that's going to do it for today's video from Great Adventure. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.